All right, good morning and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling, and we are on Lake Superior here in the Apostle Islands. It's late summer. The water temps are about as high as they're probably going to be, right? 70, 71, very warm water. And we're targeting lake trout today, and we're just going to do it with jig rods, with our St. Croix walleye rods, heavier style walleye rods. No downriggers, no nothing on the boat. So we're just going to target these fish jigging. But the Apostle Islands is a very fun fishery. There's a lot of fish out here. There's a lot of angling pressure, but there's also a high population of fish. And it kind of goes hand in hand, right? There's high populations because so much of this water out here is fish refuge. You can't go in it. I'd say about 50% of all the water in the Apostle Islands here is refuge that you can't fish in, right? And initially you may think that that's, puts you at a disadvantage, but I think it kind of puts you at an advantage just because there is a lot of fishing pressure here, but it can handle it because those fish refuge zones, it just gives those fish a place to hide and to reproduce and to not be targeted. So, this time of year, we're focusing on a little bit deeper water, 100, 120, 140 feet deep. That's kind of where those lake trout kind of push off to this time of year. So we're going to use some electronics, live scope, 2D sonar, kind of move around. We're on kind of some structure. It's big structure here. The Apostle Islands doesn't necessarily have reefs, kind of like you have in, the North Shore or Michigan or Ontario waters of Lake Superior, but it's kind of big flats is kind of what the Apostle Islands is known for in terms of structure, flats that are 2 miles by 2 miles, right? There's a lot of those. So you got to use your electronics, move around on them, try to find a fish and, drop baits down and hopefully you can get them to bite. So stick with us. It's gonna be a good one. I'm hoping it's not gonna get too hot today. It's the dog days of summer. I'm looking forward to winter. So let's get some lake trout in the boat. There's a fish. There's a fish. That one ate good. Just throttled it. Feels like a good fish. In the Apostle Islands here, there's so many of those lake trout that are like 26 to 28 inches this year. That's the majority of what your fish are, is 26 to 28. And this one could be a little bit bigger, but there's always the chance at a giant, which is what I like out here. There's a lot of 40-inch fish around too, so you never know what you're going to catch, whether you want to jig, whether you want to go after lake trout, which is what I prefer, or salmon, browns, whitefish. I mean, it truly has it all, and it's one of my favorite fisheries. Just, you can see it's just expelling all that air right there. That's a nice trout. That's a nice trout, exactly in that 27, 28. That one might go 30, but again, just the amount of fish in that upper 20-inch range touching 30 is what makes this a lot of fun. Rarely do you catch those little fish that are 15, 20 inches, right? This is your average fish here in the Apostle Islands, and they make for a fun fight. Let's get this one back. He's going to release just fine. There he goes. Yeah, he ate on the drop, eh? That's a good fish, Busker. He looked big on the live scope. That one was suspended. So recently, we've noticed this on a couple guide trips recently. We do some guiding in this area every now and then, and water temps get this warm, those fish go right to bottom, and your suspended lines, your lead core, your planer boards don't catch anything, and the majority of your fish come on a downrigger right on bottom, and you're not graphing these fish they're down in the rocks out here, right? Yeah, it's another nice. That's a pretty one. I mean, just so many of them are all in that 27, 28 inch range. I mean, great fish. Not many places you can go and that's truly your average fish right there. Just a solid You know, 27-inch fish. I mean, this would have great meat on it. We might actually keep this one. There's zero fat on it, longer nose, orange fins, skinnier fish. And, you know, I mean, that's a great eating fish. The Apostle Islands here, again, there's a lot of fishing pressure, but there's a lot of fish and it's heavily regulated. You can only keep 2 fish here. There's special regulations in this area of Wisconsin. Let's get this one on ice in the live well and catch another one. Now, late summer like this, when water temps are 70 degrees, no matter really what species of fish you're catching, especially lake trout, they're not going to survive in your live well. And this is the time of year when I turn my live well into an ice box. So instead of putting water in here, we have bags of ice. It just helps keep that fish's meat so much better and pure and firm and solid. So really what we do is we're playing selective harvest, right? The limit here in Wisconsin waters is 2 fish. So we're keeping 1 here. And what we do is bleed them out. We have them in the net. Like I got this one here. So he's just bleeding out in the net. So I'm letting them, when they're in their water, they can really pump out that blood a lot better when they're in water. So we bleed them out, we cut their gills, keep them in the net, let them pump out his blood, and then we put them right on ice. It's crazy how much better it is, right? No matter walleyes, whitefish, trout, salmon, no matter what you're doing, when water temps are 70 degrees, these fish are not going to survive in your live well. And you know, once they die without cutting their gills in your live well, like their meats is so full of blood and it gets soft and mushy. Like this is a way to really enable that fish to have the best meat as possible. So that guy's still got some spunk, but he's about all bled out. And then all we do is just put him right on the ice there, and yeah, that's going to be some good eating there. Oh, fish. Jesus. Fish on. Fish on. That one did not hesitate. That's what you like to see. That's a prime example right there. We stopped the boat, not because I saw a fish, but because on my 2D sonar, I saw the right type of bottom. Like it was the Apostle Islands, like a lot of the structure down here is a lot of sand and kind of clay. And then, you know, on these big flats, you will have spots with rock. And I stopped the boat because I saw that rock. And these fish this time of year just live so low in the water column, you're not going to really see many of them on your live scope. So I saw the rocks on my 2D. We stopped the boat, spot locked us, dropped jigs down, and then we watched our jigs fall on the live scope. And that's when the live scope picked that fish up. So a prime example there, right? Like, I didn't catch that fish because of live scope. I caught that fish because my, you know, old school traditional 2D graph. I saw that right type of bottom. Yeah, not a bad trout. Not a bad trout. That's another perfect eater there. And I always say like these, oh, did he just choke that jig? These Apostle Islands fish, everyone like, I think gets that bad stigma of lake trout are not good to eat. And I can attest to that. So, you know, there's some subspecies of lake trout that, yes, they're probably not the best to eat. And those are really found along the north shore of Lake Superior, right? In that really deep depths where those fish live in 200, 300, 400 feet of water, right? And they push up shallow and you catch them. And they have a short nose. They're really fat in the belly. They're kind of pale colored. A lot of these fish down here have bright orange meat. Like you know, if you fillet this fish and that last one we kept, if you fillet those fish, you show 100 people that fillet, I guarantee you more than 50 of them are going to tell you that it's a salmon or it's a brown trout or something like that, right? Because it's bright orange and there's no fat in it. We're going to put him in the box and yeah, probably get back down there. I mean, this is good fishing. I love it. The Apostle Islands, there's always tons of fish to catch, and that's my favorite part about it. So fun stuff. So out here in the Apostles, you know, all this structure, it's very, very big structure. We're not going to have small reefs. But I want to find structure on that structure, right? So obviously we have our big flat here, but right here on my 2D, I'm seeing it's not flat bottom. Like it's not flat bottom. I can see purple in there. I got some red. It looks like there's some ups and downs. Like to me, that looks like some rock, right? I don't necessarily see a fish, but I'm going to fish this just because, number one, the time of year, 70-degree water temps. I know the majority of these lake trout are glued to bottom. Like you're not really going to see them. If they can find some rocks here, especially in the Apostle Islands where it's a lot of sand, I know that this is a high percentage of catching a fish, or at least having a fish be within eyesight of my bait when I drop it down. So again, I'm not dropping down right now because I've seen a fish on live scope or seen a fish on 2D. It's just because that it's the right type of bottom structure, of bottom it's the right type of bottom where I know that there's a high possibility a fish could be down there. So I'm gonna drop baits down now. I'm gonna transition my eyes to our live scope and see if anything comes in. There we go, Busker. Yeah, on the live scope, he did look sizable. He chased up a ways too. That fish ate like halfway down the water column. He was on bottom. It's kind of a rare fish that was a little bit suspended. It's like a decent one. I don't think it's gonna be overly big, but man, any fish is a fun one out here, especially when you jig them like this. The Apostle Islands is not really known for a jigging bite, but this just shows you that the potential's here for it to happen. Maybe bigger. You never know. Throughout the years, we've seen some big fish here. I can't do much with them. But everything's it's crazy. There's no fish shallower than like 100 feet right now. Like everything's deeper. Big head chicks. Big head chicks. Everything's deep, and that's all just because of water temps. 70, 71 degrees at the surface, and I bet that warm water goes down quite a ways as well. That's a nice fish. Hooked right in the nose. That's another nice fish. So much power. So much power. All right, ready? There we go. Yeah, no, not over 10 by any means. But again, just as we were saying, like so many of these fish are 28, 29 inches. It's fun when you get that caliber of fish.
Scrapper.
Yeah, they fight hard, man. And whether you catch them on jigging rod or trolling, it's like, that's just a great lake trout. This would be another really good eating fish, really thin, longer nose on it. There's not a ton of belly fat here. Again, this fish would have very nice orange meat if you're gonna keep one. So yeah, we might put him on the ice as well, and have enough for a nice meal. So much fun here in the Apostle Islands catching lake trout. Late summer, jigging. You never know what's gonna swim by and what that next fish is gonna be like. That one actually has a clipped fin, so it's a hatchery fish there. Hey? That's cool. You don't see many of those. You see a lot of tagged fish down here. That's one thing we've noticed throughout the years is there's a lot of tagged fish, but that's kind of rare to see a clipped one like that. That's cool. There's a fish. That feels a little more heavy. Yeah, a little bit bigger head shakes here. This fish ate way off bottom. A lot of these fish are so tight to bottom, but they will chase you up very, very long ways. This feels a little heavy. That's the fun part about the Apostle Islands is you never know what you're going to catch. Like that size potential is truly there. Fish 43, 44, 45 inches. By no means is this one of those, but they're around. We've caught them in years past, and a lot of our guide trips, we see some very, very sizable fish. Whoa, look at that. There's the head shakes. That fish didn't know what was going on that whole fight. Oh man, just whoosh, whoosh. Now he's going back down. Oh, that is so cool. They put up a battle. They put up a battle. That's a nice silver fish there, man. That's so pretty. Look at that trout. Look at that trout. Boom. Beauty. Another gorgeous, gorgeous lake trout. That's a respectable lake trout there, man. Yeah, healthy fish. Right in that, you know, that's about a 29 incher. They're all like that. I mean, it's just crazy the amount of fish in that 28, 29 inch range that we're seeing down here in the Apostle Islands this year. What a fight. That gets your heart going on a, you know, August day when so many other species of fish are, you know, they just turn off. It's that summer lull. Not for lake trout. This summer heat gets them going, and there's no place I'd rather be than here in the Apostle Islands. Busker's hooked up. How's that one feel, buddy?
Feels pretty good. It's already right here. It was up high.
Was that fish up high?
Yeah,
eh?
I seen it on the Garmin and I
that's
cast
cool.
it over to it.
Nice.
Missed them the first time, but
That's fun when they're schooled up. That's a double. We're gonna. Oh, that's a nice fish.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
That's one of those unders you're talking about right there.
Yeah,
I think.
no, that'd be close. That's over. That's but yeah, that's fun. That's a double. We're counting that as a double, man.
Yeah.
Double lake trout here on Lake Superior.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a nice fish. But again, the perfect eating fish, right? You can tell how skinny it is, the longer nose on it. You know, you get those fish with the short nose and big belly, right? Those are the ones you kind of want to stay away from and play selective harvest on. But like this would be another great one to eat. We already have 3 in the live well, which I think is plenty of meat. But we'll get this guy back. But nice work, dude.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's fun, eh? Jigging lake trout. Way out here on Lake Superior in the Apostle Islands.
Light tackle.
Right, light tackle. It doesn't get any better. Let's get this one back. There's a fish, Busker.
Nice.
They're playing nice today. A lot of these fish that we're seeing are eating. That's good, because some days it can be, you have to weed through a lot of fish, but every fish that we see above bottom is hitting very, very good. So it's nice when trout do that. Light winds today make boat control easy. Like this is a good day. It's a fun day out here on Lake Superior in the Apostle Islands. That's not a bad, he choked this jig. I can feel my line in his teeth. Yeah, there he is there, man. That's a nice trout. That's a nice trout. Look at him there. Oh, he's got a big lamprey scar on his head, hey?
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? That's awesome, man. What a neat fish. That's a nice trout. Nice trout. Like I said, I can feel my line scraping against his teeth. Like that's when you know they eat your jig. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. Stop. Yeah, you see that sea lamprey mark right there on his head. He shed that one semi-recently. It's nice to see that he shook that off. Warm water temps, but these lake trout are, you know, they're going good. We'll get him back. Give him a little sploosh. That's so cool to see. And every fish is releasing great, right? We're playing selective harvest. We've kept 3 of them that are going to be really good eating, but you know, the fish that we are releasing are going straight down, right? Really, that's something really to pay attention to if you are releasing fish and they struggle. Oh, Busker, that was a big one. Oh, your Busker's rod just doubled over. But you know, if some fish are, you know, not releasing very well, you know, again, just be cautious of it, right? If you know, maybe move shallower, or you know, keep those ones, or you know, whatever, do something. But these are all releasing very, very well. But you know, 120, 130 feet, sometimes you are going to run into issues. But these fish are being nice and releasing very, very good. So, what happened there, buddy?
Coming back.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got him right up there. Eh?
Oh, that's cool. You like that?
There he did. Yes,
Got him that time.
dude. Is that a better one?
Yeah, feels good.
That a boy.
Second chance.
Yeah, that's what life's all about, buddy. That's what we always say. How much fun is this jigging these trout? I mean, it's fun to catch them trolling, but jigging, it's just you got to interact with them. It's a more fun fight.
Light tackle.
Very
So
light
fun.
tackle. Very light tackle. That's my favorite part about this. It's just another solid fish. I mean, that may be our biggest today, but just so many in that 28, 20. They just go nuts, eh?
Yeah.
28, 29 inch range.
You see the boat, they don't like that.
No, they don't.
Come right
Under the
underneath the boat.
That's a big fish. Oh, he outran the net. Did you see that?
That was
He put on the
crazy.
burners, dude.
Oh.
He's like, nope. I
Cool.
got my second chance too. I don't think he
awesome.
would have let me live that down if I didn't get him in the net.
I should have turned the head a little better for you too, but
Well, it's hard to turn the head on a like that's a solid 10-pound fish,
thick.
right? Yeah, cool. Let's get him in the boat, and that's a nice fish, buddy.
Battled right when I got it close to the boat. Just kept peeling line and just peeling line on that St. Croix there. Nice fish. Get that unbuttoned and released.
Work good. All right, so as we've been saying, our structure out here is extremely expansive. We're not fishing reefs or like underwater points, right? All of my best spots in the Apostle Islands are kind of big flat areas, and there's numerous ones, and you know, is where it's a constant depth in like 90 to 120 feet, right? So when I have an area this big, sure, maybe some days you could sit there and spot lock and fish in the same area all day long, and you know, the fish would just keep funneling through. Like we've done it before, right? But most days you can't do that, and you have to just move around. So what we're doing here is just idling along. So, you know, I'll kind of switch off and back and forth between using my bow mount and my big motor. And you'll have spurts in the day. Some, you know, it'll be really good for an hour, and then you won't catch a fish for an hour, right? You just deal with it and continue to push on, and you know, the fish are gonna reward you. That one didn't want to play, hey buddy? He went to bottom. All right, we'll move on and find a new fish. Go, go, go. Dude, this fish has me pinned. That fish had me pinned. He just went straight to bottom.
It did.
I love this rip and wrap rod from St. Croix. It's a Legend Tournament walleye. It's got that longer cork handle. Situations like this, I can just pin that against my forearm, and you know, you just get a little bit more leverage. That fish took a big run. So much fun out here on Lake Superior. There's a lot of fish spots. Can you still see them in the live scope?
No.
And this is where you want to have the right gear. Braided line is certainly your friend, and sure, you can get a hook set on those fish. If you're using monofilament, you know, I'd kind of think you're wasting your time. You know, braided line just for that sensitivity, and you know, that no stretch when you do set the hook on them. Just choke that jig. Just they battle, man. Like they battle. There he is. I would have thought that fish would have been twice as big, right?
Right. Everyone has just been battling.
But I don't care at all. Like these are so much fun. So much fun. What a nice fish, man. Lake Superior never ceases to amaze you. Such a fun time we've had out here on Lake Superior today. Jigging lake trout, warm water temps, but these trout don't care, man. They turn on when water temps are high like this, right? You just got to push a little bit deeper, grab some jigging rods. You can have a fabulous day out here on Lake Superior. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.